Okay then, John. First of all, what was the Meriden co-op?
It was an idea born out of necessity, really. The company had closed. The owners, Norton-Villiers-Triumph, had determined that there was no longer a market for the Bonneville, and as far as they were concerned it was surplus to requirements, and the idea came that possibly a co-op could be formed from the workers, and finance could be raised from government which would allow it to purchase the assets that were required to continue the production of the Triumph Bonneville.
How did you go from shop floor to manager?
Right, I was a welder. I joined the company as a welder. The company were recruiting welders to produce the new oil-in frame P39 frame, and I was one of the welders that joined the company at that time. Under the co-op, each of the 8 trade unions had a director. So when I rejoined the co-op, obviously there was a director from my particular union, the welders, the sheet metal workers union. The guy resigned after a period of time, and I was elected to fulfil that job, that representative on the board of directors. The book in its entirety is my memories, if you like, of the social story of passage of time from 1970-71 through to 1983, covered in great detail the lengths to which the people of the Triumph family went to try and save their Triumph Bonneville as they saw it, and their way of life. I wouldn't like to single out any one part. To the best of my ability, I've tried to remember, with the help of scraps of information and notes and photographs and tremendous help from loads and loads of people, I've tried to cover it in as much detail as I possibly can. And I wouldn't like to emphasise or put any emphasis on any particular section of it, but it does show the length that the people went to try and preserve something that was so dear to them. Well, Tony Benn was fundamental to the co-op coming into existence. He was sympathetic to co-ops. The idea of a co-op had been being discussed and was being pursued, but when Tony Benn became the industry minister, it meant there was then a sympathetic air within government. So without Tony Benn, there wouldn't have been a Triumph motorcycle co-op or a Meriden co-op. Well, we were led to believe that the decision was a commercial decision at cabinet level, purely pounds, shillings and pence as it was at the time. I think it was. Purely monetary. It made sense from a financial position to sort the situation or the problem as they saw it. Well, the times are not that dissimilar. The unemployment problems were grim at the time. People are obviously, their jobs are under threat. There's a lot of feelings about companies that are closing, and obviously people are worried about their situation, all the elements that were there in the times of the co-op. The anniversary obviously makes it highly relevant to the Bonneville, or the Meriden, the Triumph Meriden Bonneville. And as such, I'm sure people will be interested in reading all about the things and the lengths to which the co-op went to try and keep it and survive, to enable it to survive.
Why do you think the Bonnie still gets so much enthusiasm and affection around the world?
I think it's an iconic design. It was it descended from Edward Turner's original concepts. Lots of other companies followed where the Triumph Bonneville and the Triumph models had started, and it's a lot of what was done then is still right today, and it's still those people who bought it in the past and still lovingly maintain them, they're still there today.